Guys, it's here. It's the final of World's Strongest Man 2021, and myself and Auntie Liz are bringing you our day one results show. So 3 events today, starting off with the Giants Medley, which is a yoke into a frame carry. Then the athletes will be moving on to the Titans Turntable, and the final event of day 3 is the keg toss for height.
Now, I know we all complain about the lack of live stream and all of that kind of stuff, but I have to admit, I do have a bit of fun with the spreadsheet.
It's the most fun you're ever going to have with a spreadsheet.
Well, yeah, it's oddly addictive though, just waiting for those numbers and then picturing what's happening in your head, knowing these guys so well, is, you know, fantasizing about it.
Oh dear.
It's been a very long week.
It has indeed.
If you feel like this is fun that you need in your life, then you can follow along the spreadsheet. It's on www.strongmanarchives.com.
But still come and watch us for our analysis after.
Obviously.
Right, straight into event 1, and this is where the athletes want to get off to a blistering start. Yes. A good start sets the pace for the whole competition. And I think when you look back at the previous winners of World's Strongest Man, it's very rare to see the winner outside of the top 3 on event number 1. Okay guys, you can see the results on the screen now, and what a start for spicy Tom Stoltman, taking the win on event 1, blitzing this time, 18.36 seconds. But the real interesting thing is to look at the next 3 guys, all within a second of each other. Konstantin Janasha proving that he's in shape in this final. Brian Shaw coming in 3rd. I think that's a big performance for Brian.
Huge.
People have spoke about him not being too fast over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's proven he's put the work in to get his speed up. 3rd place for Brian, and then Luke Stoltman taking 4th spot.
Who was the guy arguing with me earlier? Brian's not fast. Brian is fast. It was just usually the transitions that let him down. But I had this as being Brian's worst event of the competition. So for him to come 3rd, I think is huge.
And honestly, I didn't expect Tom to win this one.
No,
I thought Tom could get top 3,
yeah,
4th, 3rd, something like that. To come in and win this event is huge for the big man. Yeah. And he's going to be... Tom's one of those athletes that builds from confidence. If he gets a bad start, it knocks him.
Yeah.
This is the perfect start. I mean, you can't ask for a better start. And he's going to be on cloud 9.
Yeah.
I think the confidence is going to grow.
I think we're going to see this. I've got him as my number 1 anyway, so I'm feeling confident now.
Well, that's just the perfect start. But a few interesting ones there. I was expecting more from Maxime on this event.
Yeah, I thought Maxime would be quicker, but it was interesting when the results were coming through. Some of the first people we saw were Maxime and Trey and Adam and Bobby, and it looked like Adam had blitzed it in comparison to everyone else. I was thinking, oh man, that's going to be hard to beat. But when the other guys started coming through,
incredible.
I was like, how it must have been a bit disheartening for Adam. Like,
well, he put in such a good time, and then to actually end up in 6th place.
I know, and then to watch 5 guys go ahead of you, it's a bit.
Couple of things we should point out. Sad news.
Yes.
JF Karan has picked up a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
It's not devastating, but there's a small tear in his hamstring, which going forward on events like the deadlift, which he's one of the best in the world at, could really, really hamper him. So devastating news for JF.
Do we know if he's pulling out officially? Because we've heard he's pulling out. No, he's staying in.
I've heard he's going to keep going, and he's he's got that kind of mentality. He's a warrior. He just doesn't give up. I've seen him injured before and finish competitions. I don't expect anything different with JF.
No.
He's just an absolute, determined man. A bit like Jerry Pritchett. You know, just one of those guys that hates to pull out of competitions. He just fights till the end, even if he's in excruciating pain.
Mikhail Shivlikov,
yeah, same. They're from the same kind of breed. They just don't give up. And also Athor.
Yes.
Athor apparently has picked up a bicep injury. I don't know the facts of how bad it is, but that's what I'm hearing. He's picked up an injury. So real shame if that is the case for those 2. But a perfect start for Tom Stoltman and a good start for Brian Shaw.
This graphic, bless him, I just want to give him a quick shout out. Elwa Fournier, who runs and co-created the Strongman Archives website. He's a proper history keeper of Strongman, results keeper. He loves it. He's as big a fanatic as us, proper Strongman nerd, but we love him. He also is one of the moderators in the Strongman subreddit on Reddit. So, hi Elwa, thanks. Cheers, mate. So the next event then, the results are in. It's the Titans Turntable, something we've never seen at World's Strongest Man before. Quite a unique event in itself. if picture this, a train on a turntable, and the athletes have to push the train. Apparently it's 30 metric tons, but on these sorts of events, I don't think that really means anything at all, does it? Because it's all to do with resistance and all of that kind of stuff. But they have 75 seconds to complete this course. So let's get the results up.
So as you can see, we were just kind of like, this was always going to be a hard event to predict. Mm-hmm. But wow, Tom Stoltman taking another win. 2 out of 2 on day 1 so far.
Do you know what's really important about this, though, is the guys who did well on the first event haven't done so well here. Look, Constantine in 9th place, Brian Shaw in 6th place, and the guys who did badly on the first event doing well here. So what that does, that brings those bottom guys to the middle, the top guys to the middle, and Tom right out there on his own.
I know it's just ridiculous to say this after 2 events. But barring catastrophe, I don't think he can be caught.
7-point difference. We'll get the screen up in a second.
That was the hardest event to predict in terms of this competition. When you look at what's coming up, where can you see Tom dropping that many points? Brian is going to have to win every single event now and hope that Tom has people between them. Yeah. And I just don't know if I can see that happening.
It's it's an ask. I mean, especially
I don't want to
Atlas Stones. I mean,
but Tom could potentially win that still.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Atlas Stones.
The keg toss.
Tom would be first or second.
Tom's a brilliant log presser.
Yeah. His deadlift's good as well.
I mean, he's gonna feel the pressure now. Now we've got to see how he copes with that.
Yes.
But Tom is in the perfect position to become the first ever Scotsman to win World's Strongest Man. And I can't believe I'm saying that after 2 events.
We wouldn't normally say that. I don't think we're hysterical. Well, we know I'm a hysterical
You're definitely hysterical, but I'm feeling a little hysterical right now.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to jinx anything.
No.
But he is in the driving seat. And wow, the rest of the competition is going to be tight now. Like, those changes in positioning.
Let's get that up now on the screen. And this is what we're talking about. I mean, it couldn't have gone better for Tom. Obviously, he won the events. You cannot control what other people do, though. But the best thing that can happen to you is exactly what's happened to Tom. Brian and Constantine placing much lower in this one after doing well, and then the bottom guys doing well. It's the perfect storm. But look now, there's 4 points between 2nd place and 9th. It's absolutely crazy.
The battle, dare I say it, the battle now is for the podium. And look at that at the moment. If you're a Scottish Stoltman fan, number 1 and number 3,
tied for third.
If they finished in that position,
second, yeah.
You know, how incredible would that be? I know I'm getting ahead of myself, and there's still 4 more tough events to go.
Yeah.
But wow, what a start for the Stoltmans.
Any shocks for you so far? I know it's hard to say after 2.
Not really shocked, because this, like I said, this event was a hard one to predict.
Yeah.
You can say who's good at truck pulls, but when you look at the Wheel of Pain from the Arnolds, it didn't necessarily have the best truck pullers winning.
No. And we don't often see pushing in Strongman. It's quite a rare event.
It is. I mean, Tom he absolutely blasted the first 2 events. He's not just won by a tiny bit.
No.
He's smashed
won by
everyone.
A decent margin, yeah.
And I guess, some of the, like you say, some of the guys that were lower down in that first event doing so well has really opened the door for him.
Yeah.
With only 1 more event to go today, he is in the driving seat. Brian Shaw putting in a good solid performance so far.
Yeah.
He's going to have to, come out and smash the next 4 events. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to win the keg toss. He's going to have to show his absolute best pressing and deadlifting that we've seen in years.
Yeah.
And those are 2 events that we haven't seen the best of him in recent years. He's going to have to prove he's back to his best.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have to try and beat Tom Stoltman on the stones. Anything is possible, but it is a big ask. The final event of day 1 has just happened. It's 10 to 2 in the morning in the UK. We're tired, but we're excited too.
Yes.
I tell you what, being a fan is worse than a competitor sometimes.
It is.
I feel for the partners. I kind of feel for what it was like when you were stuck at home watching me. It's horrible. But what a first day it's been. Very quickly, we'll go into the results for the keg toss. So the 3rd event was the keg toss for height this time. We often see it for speed, various different kegs getting heavier and heavier. This time it was about maximum height. I believe the guys had 30 seconds to throw the weight over the height. If they did it in that time, then they went up to the next height. Lizzie, let's go through the results.
So Trey Mitchell went out first on this event, which really sucks for him because then you have 5 guys tying, but that sucks for them as well. Now, with so many guys tying on the same height, do you think maybe the height jumps weren't correct?
It's one of those weird events where it's not like a timed event where you can really split the guys. We've got like anything that involves a certain weight or a height. Like tomorrow when we go to the log lift for Max, there's going to be guys that tie.
Yeah.
And that's just part of the way strongman competitions are. To have 5 guys tie is quite a lot. Maybe there should have been a jump in between, but it's hard to say that, you know?
Yeah.
It's a balance between getting through the event. But this is going to have an impact now because now you've had 5 guys tie, which will each get them 4 points.
Yes.
So that gap then from 4 points to Janasha, I believe, who was 4th, who got 7 points, is quite big.
Yeah.
And it gives the guys that manage to get into those top few spaces a big advantage over the chasing pack.
So 4 guys broke the world record. It was 7.25. One of the jumps was 7.26. So nice to squeeze in some strategic records in there. But the ultimate event winner was Brian Shaw, which, as we know, is a really important win for him. And because Tom Stoltman and Maxime went out at the same time, it gave Brian 1.5 points over Tom instead of just 1.
Yeah, he needed it as well.
Yes.
I mean, today has been an incredible day for Tom Stoltman.
Oof.
What's that? He's got 28.5 points out of a possible 30. He could not have asked for a better day than that. He's going to go to bed a happy man. He's got some very, very good events tomorrow. So, we've got the overall screen up now. You can really see that Tom and Brian are now stretching away from the rest of them, but we've got a real battle hotting up between the next 3 guys for that 3rd spot.
Yeah.
Now, still 30 points to play for tomorrow. Brian he's really got an uphill battle. He's got to climb a mountain, I believe, if he wants to beat Tom now. I mean, he needed that win, but I think he's going to have to take the deadlift, he's going to have to take the log and the stones if he wants to win this title. Tom is in the driving seat. He's got some great events coming tomorrow. I think he'll go to bed happy.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible,
No.
and you know anything can happen, so nothing is guaranteed.
Do you know what I want is a close battle.
Well, it still might be, you know.
Yeah.
Brian is a fighter, and he's
Yeah.
taken a win there. That would have been a big win for him.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Tom hasn't made it bloody easy, has he?
well, I think tomorrow's events are even better for Tom. If I'm totally honest, I think Tom's a better log presser. I think deadlift, if you go on current form that we've seen in the last couple of years,
We don't know
it's
how
very,
Brian's
very...
deadlift is
No,
right
but
now.
what I'm saying is current form in terms of what we've seen.
Okay.
All right.
Because we haven't seen Brian's
If Brian can bring back his best all-time deadlift, Brian is the better deadlifter.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is in recent times,
yeah.
Tom is probably actually the better deadlifter. And as good a stone lifter as they both are, recent times, Tom is the better stone lifter. So Brian is going to have to dig deep and bring out that very, very best to really challenge and pull Tom back. I think there's some good events tomorrow for some of the other guys to get back into that
Bobby,
3rd place
for example.
contention.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be extremely hard for anyone to get into the top 2 now.
It's really
I
hard.
really can't. He's very consistent across
Yeah.
the board. He would have to drop a lot of points on the deadlift and the log, and I don't believe he will. I think the fact that it's a max log suits him more.
Yes.
Last year's Brian's log was a bit weird, to be quite honest.
He struggled with the handles last year. He struggled to physically fit his hand into the...
There you go. He's that damn big.
He is though, isn't he? He's a
huge
giant man, yeah.
But I think the fact it's going to be the same log, he'll have the lighter weights to get used to it.
Yeah.
And it should be a better event for him.
Brian's
this
going to be
year.
hell-bent tomorrow as well. He's such a professional athlete, isn't he?
He's not gonna give this up.
Oh, God, no. And it's Father's Day. How many fathers are in this lineup? Hardly any. Maybe only Brian, in fact. And he's got his little boys there watching. Do you know what? I don't think anything is a given yet. I think it's all still to play for.
Well, it's definitely all still to play for. It's hotting up to be an exciting last day. I'm going to get to bed.
I'll edit this.
Guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel just for the effort that Auntie Liz puts in, and we'll be back tomorrow with the final results. While you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.